Hello everyone, my name is Ashley Grande and I'm going to talk to you about a less thought about form of political branding, politicians' use of music, specifically during campaigns. To start off, I'm going to give you some background information about exactly what political branding is. According to the University of Auckland, New Zealand, political branding can be described as the way a political organization or individual politician is perceived by the overall public. It is what politicians use to maintain reputation, gain support, and create their political identity. Political branding is all about how politicians want to be presented to the public. You may be wondering why political branding is important to you. You're not a politician. Well, it's important to you because you're the public the politicians are trying to present to. Arguably, the biggest objective of a politician, especially during campaign season, is to get elected. They're trying to convince you, myself, and everyone around them to get to the polls and vote for them. It is our job to be able to identify their forms of political branding in order to evaluate all aspects of candidates so we can make the best choice for who we want running the country. We are more familiar with the obvious forms of political branding, such as party affiliation and what a candidate says directly in a speech. When we hear what party a candidate is from, that politician has inserted a general idea for what you, as a voter, should expect from their ideas. If they're a Republican, we can expect conservative views. If they're a Democrat, we can expect more liberal views without having to really know much more about them. We can also listen to the candidates say things directly to get even more specifics about what the politician wants us to know about them and their views. Aside from these obvious forms of political branding, however, there are less realized ways politicians are trying to brand themselves to you, such as their taste in music. It may just seem like a fun fact about a person, but politicians have a way of making something as simple as music taste into a way to present to voters. A great example of a politician who uses music taste to brand is Marco Rubio, a Florida senator. During his bid for presidency in 2016, he did an interview with CNN and was asked about his taste in music. He responds with his love of electronic dance music due to the clean lyrics so he can listen to it with his kids around. Specifically throwing in clean lyrics and his kids gives the public two shots of this guy is a really caring and a true family man. This image is extremely important to a conservative candidate because over half of families with children under 18 identify as conservative voters. However, in another interview with Fox News, Rubio discusses his love of West Coast rap and 90s hip-hop. Interestingly enough, according to a poll done by Washington Post, Rubio's strongest voter constituents were not only Christians with his clean lyrics, but also young men who related to his love of rap and hip-hop. While of course it is still important to pay attention to the obvious branding and issues that we tend to pay attention to as voters, I implore you to look beyond the obvious. While something like music taste may seem unimportant at first, politicians still use it to try and send a message. There's something they are trying to tell you with that little fun fact they share in interviews. As voters, it is important that we look a little deeper into why a politician might say something about the hip-hop music they listen to. We have to look a little deeper into what they are trying to present themselves to us so we can use the most accurate picture of our representatives.